It's your boy Sergeant Hooked on Heroes, talking about episode 44 of Avataro Sentai Donbrothers. Holy moly, this episode! I was impressed all the way, beginning start to finish. It just, wow! Like I've been saying that about the show, in terms of its overall chaotic nature, its comedic nature, its action, its storytelling, the character interactions, things like that. But this episode. Holy cow. So the primary plot has to do with overall confrontation between Tsubasa and Kijino, Tsuyoshi Kijino, right? So Kiji brother, Inu brother, right? So that's the main thing we're going to get to in this episode. So Inu brother comes to Donboro Cafe because the Donbrothers want to talk to him about the judo, what he knows about the judo. They know he knows about it, but they don't know that he's Inu brother. We'll get to that. And he doesn't really know that they're heroes like he is and whatever. So he tells them what he knows about it, that he was there and blah, 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 and that what Sononi told him, which is like, oh, but if you defeat a judo who's copied someone, the copy will be gone and you'll save the person. But except we know that Taro knows that that's the opposite is true. That when you defeat the clone, the original source it came from also dies. So it's conflicting information here, and we're not really sure what's right, what's wrong, and what's going on exactly, right? So we move forward with everything here. It's kind of interesting with, conflicting reports of what's right and what's wrong, right? We also get a little bit with Jiro talking about that he's going to be going back to his village that he lives in, and he wants to have the team come with him. He can introduce him to Rumi, introduce him to Terasaki-san, and whatever. And eventually Taro's like, yeah, I'll go with you. That's fine. We can do that, blah, blah, blah. And it's really nice seeing the interaction with the team. But what's weird is he goes to show a picture of Rumi to Kijino. Kijino's like, oh, just like, I'm so happy about my Miho. You must be happy about Rumi. Can I see what she looks like? He's like, yeah. Goes show him a picture. And to Jiro, it looks like him and Rumi in the picture. He shows it to Kiji brother. She's not in it. Kind of begs the question, who cooked the vegetables that Taro likes so much? I don't really know what we're doing there, but it's fine. But anyway, so really odd there that she must not be real, I guess, and what is real exactly with him? Again, Jiro is a bit of a mystery, and I hope they have enough time to explore that and figure it out and totally give us what we need about him to really figure out what's going on there, that story-wise. So while that's going on, Sononi confronts Tsubasa again, telling him, hey, you need to, go after Natsume, you gotta find her, doppelganger and defeat her, and you'll save Natsume, and blah, blah, blah. And, we also get little bits in the beginning of this episode, and the lead into this one I'm about to talk about, with, Sonoi and Sonoza starting to understand things they never understood before. Sonoza being so interested in art here and there, he's painted its beautiful, scenery, and he never doesn't know how he did it. Sonoza literally is crying and also then laughing about, while reacting and naturally, it sounds good and it's normal human sounding, about Haruka's manga. All of a sudden. So they're starting to become a little more human. It's really interesting how that's, coming together. So yeah, really interesting tidbits there. And clearly we know Sononi is inching more towards humanity also because of her feelings developing for Tsubasa, how she's jealous of what he has with Natsume and wants it to be with her, right? Kind of toxic, but still, she's gaining jealousy and understanding, love and attraction and stuff like that. And so he finds Miho, slash Natsume, Mihotsume, cat judo, or whatever, not cat, crane judo, and tells her, this ends now. We need to fight, we need to take care of this now. And she's like, you can't touch me, I'm immortal, even if you could attack me, I would just heal, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I don't care. Shoots at her, straight transforms right to Inu brother, and bop, 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 shoots at her. And she fully transforms to her judo self, right? So he's like, this is my opportunity. And he runs at her, untransforms, grabs her, goes behind her and holds her back for a second, and says, come, Murasame, takes Murasame, finally gets a hit on her, a real big slash on her. She, of course, escapes like a little bitch. And he tries to go after her, but she's, too fast or whatever. And as she's escaping, she goes back into the Miho form, and Kiji brother goes back home because he's actually just making Miho stay home because he's worried she's going to, leave him again. And he sees her come back home, and he's like, oh my god, what happened to you, Miho? What's that? She's like, I was attacked. He goes, by who? And she says, Inuzuka Tsubasa. Knowing full well that Kiji brother is unhinged mentally, like the whole team, but really mentally psychopathic almost. He, of course, issues a challenge to Tsubasa to meet him at this, meet me outside, catch me outside, how about that? At the parking garage nearby. Kaito Black, Master Kaito, brings Tsubasa to the Donbrothers Cafe, summons him there and tells him, hey, blah, blah, you've been summoned here for a fight. And he's like, okay. So he goes there and he tries talking to him and he says, Kijino, you have to know the truth. Like, you're living a lie. She isn't real. She is, he tries to explain that she's a Juto and she's, messing with me as well. I need to defeat her to save Natsume. That's all I can do. That's what happens. I'm sorry. Before this, he goes for a final attack on Natsume Crane Judo, and Tsunoni gets in the way and gets attacked by the Murasame sword instead. And that's what lets Crane Judo escape, and she tells him that she lied to him, that it's not what happens, that if the clone is defeated, it's very possible Natsume will die. He's pissed. He's like, get away from me, I want nothing to do with you, we're done, stop. And but he still kind of cares about her and doesn't want her to get hurt, right? So at one point, he's running away with her before he confronts Kiji brother. We'll get back to that in a minute. Very sorry about that. And Sonoe and Sonoza find them, and they're like, hey, that's fine. You go ahead and do your thing. Confront Kiji brother, whatever you got to do. We'll take care of her. They both try to attack her, to kill her, because they say, oh, no, that's we gotta execute you now. You have human emotions. We're not supposed to do that. We're not supposed to develop that. It's not who we are. That's what happened with the Don clan and why we were even created in the first place, and blah, blah, blah. We can't do that. They both try to. They can't. They can't do it because they've gained human emotions. They care about each other. They don't want the other person to be hurt, to die, or anything like that. So they let her go, and she runs to go after Tsubasa, of course. He goes after Kiji brother. Kiji brother straight tackles him and transforms and, tackles a civilian that he doesn't know is going to transform. And so they fight. He becomes senior brother. They fight for a bit. Kiji brother straight unloads on him with the down blaster and is about to use the finisher on Tsubasa in his human form. Kiji brother is completely unhinged in every way possible, and I'm living for it. It's so interesting to see this dynamic in the show. So he tries to, and of course Tsunoni gets in the way again, and she nearly dies from doing so. The rest of the team arrives, and they just straight transform with Tsubasa. Everybody transforms together because Hitotsuoki was in the background a little bit. It's this weird business subplot, this business guy who wasn't getting enough praise. Now he's the bioman, Hitotsuki, and is asking everybody for praise. So he asks Tsunoni for praise, and Tsubasa's trying to help her because she's hurt. And he pushes him out of the way, and then he attacks Tsubasa, and then Kiji brother comes in because he's attacking an innocent person, so Kiji brother still wants to help people, So they were trying to push it back, and then Taro and the whole team show up and blast at the monster, and then they all transform together, even Jiro. And it's they just do it. They don't talk about it. They're not like, hey, oh my god, look, he was your brother the whole time. We finally know who Mr. Puppers is. Nothing. They just do it. They fight. They do the whole team combo attack, the Momotaro-zan, with Jiro on the little pedestal thing. And they just do their thing, blah, 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 and blast the monster and go about their day. And it was so, anticlimactic, but, so Donbrothers also. But we do get an interesting interaction here. So we see Tsunoni afterwards, and she's trying to go up these stairs. She falls. Boom, 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 boom. She's fallen. She dies. Tsubasa comes up to her, and he's like, Tsunoni, what's going on? I'm upset with you still, but, I didn't want this to happen. Thank you for saving my life, but blah, blah, blah. And she's gone. And Master Kaito comes out and clearly informs him of the Kiwi points, that he's never used his Kiwi points all the way through because he didn't even know about Master Kaito at all. He's been doing his own thing, being Inner Brother and not being a part of the team civilian-wise anyway. And an active member of what they're doing and everything. So he decides to use his Kiwi points to revive Tsunoni. Tsunoni revives and is like, oh my gosh, Tsubasa, and she goes to embrace him. He goes, no, stay away from me. He's like, I revived you because I felt bad that you saved my life, so I want to pay you back. But I don't want anything to do with you. You lied to me and nearly made me murder somebody that I love. We're done. And he leaves, and she, is in tears and can't, even comprehend what's going on. And it's really sad. I get that it's toxic. I get that she's, made some awful decisions, but it's really sad because the one person who has taught her what human emotions are, what it means to feel, what it means to love, what it means to be attracted to somebody, to feel jealousy, doesn't want anything to do with her now. She's lied to them so much that he doesn't want to even see her anymore. And that's really sad and really good writing on the part of Inoue, and the whole staff that's writing the dialogue in general in the story is really, really good. So she leaves, and we get a tiny little snippet in the end where dumbass Haruka is going about her day, goes to sleep, and she's like, Ino brother is Tsubasa? And that's it. It's just, yeah, cat's out of the bag, and now they know, and they just move on, like, they don't care. And I'm guessing at this point, it's just, like, they don't care in the way of, like, they've seen so much crazy shit, they just are like, duh, whatever. So, next episode has them all going together to Jiro's village. We see at one point Jiro being, not Jiro, I'm sorry, Taro stuck in the one, like, you know, tree things where the Juto people or whatever. We also get to see it looks to be a full team roll call with the Noto, because now the Naoto seem to be allying themselves with the Donbrothers, except for Sanoshi, who brings two other new Naoto into it for next week as well. So I'm guessing he's going to be maybe our final villain. My money is on whatever's going on with Jiro. That whole Juto thing going on with him, and perhaps the Crane Juto are going to be our final villains. But I kind of like we don't have an overarching villain general. I think we've gotten so used to that over the years that when it's not that way, we think, oh, it's bad, or oh, what, that's kind of sad, oh, it's messed up, it's kind of disappointing. But I think it's kind of refreshing to have something different with it, content-wise. I think that's really interesting, and I think it's cool how Donbrothers is doing it. Again, banger episode, probably my favorite episode of the entire series up to this point. Absolute 10 out of 10 masterpiece. I loved it from start to finish. The dialogue, the characters was great, character interactions great, story was great, combat was great, seeing Momotaro's on again was awesome. So super excited about that, an amazing episode. As far as content this week, we will be having I'll have the, episode 18 Geeks review up pretty soon. Will be a bit of a longer video with me and Frankie talking about the Hasbro Pulse event news and stuff like that. And then also on the Henshins Homies podcast this Friday, hopefully starting a little earlier than I normally do because my kids are going to my parents for the weekend. We'll be having the Man, the Myth, the Legend, Super Bro Extraordinaire, Pronghorn Gem on the show to talk about the daily life of a Tokutuber, what it means to be that kind of a content creator, how he got into it, what passion led him to it, how parenting probably changed the perspective on that a little bit. And then also talking about our favorite Sentai mecha or robo designs, combinations, single mecha, whatever it might be. So yeah, that'll be kind of the fun topic. So definitely tune in for that. We're happy to have him on. He was one of the first people I thought of having on the show, and now we have the honor of having him on. So I'm super excited about that. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the review recap today. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this week's episode of Donbrothers and what you think about Donbrothers in general, where things are going to go for King Oger and stuff like that. I love to get the conversation started and see you guys talking about stuff. Again, really appreciate you guys subscribing and liking and sharing and all that good stuff, watching my content. Thank you. It means so much to me. But until next time, stay hooked on heroes. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.